Greetings, M Squared here today, and we are going to talk about polynomials. So our goal today is to be able to find the degree of a polynomial, to name polynomials, and to put polynomials in standard form. So to do that, we need some definitions. So you'll see the definitions are bolded with underlines. So a monomial is a type of polynomial that is just one term. So it's any real number or a variable or a product of real numbers and one or more variables with whole number exponents. So here's some examples of monomials that are just real numbers. So 7, 3/4, -2. Those are real number monomials. Variable examples: x, y cubed, z to the fourth. Those are variable examples. But these are monomials, and then we have product examples. So product examples means product of these guys. Multiply. So I could have 4x squared y cubed. I could have 2x. I could have -7x squared. All of these are examples of monomials. Notice there's no plus signs in between things. There's negatives, can be negatives out front, but it's just one term or a product of things. So that is a monomial. Now a binomial, the word bi means two, like a bicycle has two wheels. So a binomial means there's two monomials together, and it's the sum and or difference. So like 5x plus 7, or -x squared y cubed plus 7x cubed. Those are examples of binomials. Bi meaning two. Tri means three. A tricycle has three wheels. So a trinomial is a sum or difference of three monomials. So you might have x squared plus 4x minus 7. You might have x squared y cubed plus xy to the fourth minus 8. Those are trinomials. Notice there's three terms, and they're separated by plus or minus signs because they're the sum or the difference of three. Now a polynomial can be one term, a monomial, or a bunch of them. So we have special names for one term, two terms, and three terms, but after that we just call them polynomials. But all of the ones that we just learned are also polynomials. So we can just say x cubed plus 2x squared minus 7x plus 8. That is a polynomial, but 5x is also a polynomial. So now we are going to flip the page and we're going to talk about degree. So the degree of a monomial is found by taking the sum of all their exponents on the variables. So the exponent on the x is 2, on the y is 3, and on the z is 1. Remember, if there's not one there, it's always a 1. So to define the degree of this monomial, I take the exponents, 2 plus 3 plus 1, and I get 6. So what would the degree of this monomial be? Okay, well, it's 1 plus 3, because there's a 1 and a 3, and that equals 4. And how about this one? Well, there's only a 1, so it would be 1. How about this guy? Well, 2 plus 5 is 7. 7 plus 4 is 11. So the degree of a monomial is found by adding up the exponents on all the variables. The degree of a polynomial is found by doing what we just did and then picking the one term that has the biggest degree, and then that is the degree of the whole polynomial. So whichever term has the biggest degree, that's the degree of the whole polynomial. So for example, on this one, -3x to the fourth y plus 2x squared y to the fourth minus 7x cubed, y cubed. The degree of this first term was 5, because 4 plus 1 is 5. The degree of this one was 6. The degree of this one was 3. So which one has the biggest degree is 6. So we say the degree of the whole polynomial is 6. So over here, what's the degree of the first one? 1. This one, 3. This one, 2, 0. So we're not going to ignore that one. It doesn't have an x, so we say that's degree 0. So 1, 3, 2. Which one's the biggest? This one. So my degree must equal 3. Okay, over here, let's zoom in so you can see that a little bit better. The degree of the first one is 4. The degree of this one is 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. The degree of this one is 1 plus 2 plus 1, which is 4. So the degree is 9. So we can, based on the degree of the polynomial, we have a name for those. So if the polynomial is just a real number, then we say that the degree is 0. That's just a constant. If the degree is 1, we call it a linear polynomial. If the degree is 2, we call it quadratic. If the degree is 3, we call it cubic. And if the degree is 4, we call it 4th degree. And then anything after that is just 5th degree, 6th degree, 7th degree. Okay, so these are the ones you definitely want to know, linear, quadratic, and cubic. And then from then on, you just count, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Polynomials can also be named by the number of terms, and we just went through that. 1 term is a monomial, 2 terms is a binomial, 3 terms is a trinomial, and any above that we say 4 terms, 5 terms. We just call them polynomials. So what we're going to do is now we're going to switch gears. You do have to name them, and they'll ask you to name them both ways. So if you saw something like this, you'd have to say it's a quadratic trinomial, and this is a linear binomial, because you take the degree and the number of terms to name it. We'll practice that. Okay, now on to standard form. It's our third thing we're learning today. So standard form of a polynomial means you get the polynomial in descending order according to their degree. So you find the degree of each term, and then you put the one with the biggest term first. I'm going to cross it off so I know it's gone. And then the next one was x cubed. And then this degree 2 is next. And then degree 1. And then finally the constant. And that's how I write something in standard form. I make sure I know all the degrees and put them in descending order. So I want degree 0, or the lowest degree at the end, highest degree at the beginning. So again here I have a degree 1, degree 0, degree 2. So I know this guy has to go first. So 8x squared plus 11x minus 12. Okay, what about this one? Which one should go first? Well, this one has a x to the 6th, so let's put that first. Make sure you remember that the sign in front of each monomial, each term, is what stays with it. It's not the one behind it, it's the one in front of it. So negative 6x, negative 2x to the 6th goes first. Then this one looks like it's next because it's a 4. So plus 8x to the 4th. Cross them off so I don't get confused. Then I got a minus 5x squared because it's 2 next. And then the plus 3x and the plus 7. And I just got my polynomial in standard form. Degree, highest degree at the front, and at the back is the lowest degree. Okay, so we are going to now put all that to work. In class, we'll do this on our whiteboards. Here, we'll do it. What is the degree of this term? Of this polynomial. So remember to do that. If you want to pause and then try to figure it out, you can come back and figure out if you got it right. So you find the degree of each term, so 3, 2, and 0, by adding the exponents on the variables. So the degree of this one is 3, and what kind of polynomial is it? Well, if the highest degree is 3, you remember from before, it's cubic, and because it has 3 terms, we call it a trinomial. So we're going to call that a cubic trinomial. Alrighty, what is the degree? Well, there's only one variable, and it has a 2 on it, so we know our degree is 2. What kind of polynomial is it? Well, it's a quadratic. If it has a degree of 2, it's quadratic. Quadratic. And I can't spell today. That is terrible. Quadratic. I am not a good speller, but that's okay. We'll get it done. Quadratic, and then it's a binomial. Okay, this one, what is the degree? Well, there's only one variable again, and if there's no exponent on it, then we know the degree is 1. And it's a binomial, so we call this a linear binomial. Okay, this one, we've got some degrees to find. So 2 plus 3 plus 1 is 6. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 9th degree. And we have 3 terms, so we know our degree is 9. What kind of polynomial is it? It's a 9th degree trinomial. That's how we're going to say that. Okay, 2 more, and then we're done for today. Write the polynomial in standard form. Okay, so that's according to degree. So it looks like this one has a degree of 2, this one 4, and this one 1. So this one's going to go first, 3xy cubed plus 2xy. That one comes next, and then minus 8y. Okay, this one, we have a 0, 1, and 2. So our degree 2 comes first, followed by our degree 1, followed by our constant. And that is how you get them in standard form. So good luck with your polynomials, naming them. Make sure you memorize those names because that's going to be important. M squared signing out.